Hey there, and welcome to The Lab, the series where we tap into the minds and strategies of top performing EXP agents to uncover what's really working out there today. What you're about to see isn't just a great conversation, it's a sneak peek of what's inside EXP University training. All of our major training programs like Fast Cap, the Lead Generation Series, Fast Attract, and more are built by conducting dozens and dozens of these interviews. Think cutting edge tactics, proven systems, and agent tested strategies compiled from multiple agents on a given topic, all building into insights shared in our training and right here. Consider this your front row seat, and let's dive in. George, you're in Orlando, Florida today. Is that where you practiced your open house? Yeah,
Orlando. I've been in Orlando. My entire real estate career has been Orlando, but I've traveled all over the country and all over the world. But when I ended up in restaurants, ended up in Orlando, and got into real estate because I wanted more free time to spend with my new children, which was a lie. But been here ever since.
Yeah, and so when you first started, and by the way, you've been a top agent at other firms, top agent with EXP. Your pathway to success, was that through open houses, or is that something you discovered later in life?
It was actually something I discovered later after I had a little bit of success. And it was really in the transitionary time, 2008, 9, 10, when the market was just really wonky. My initial was I Forrest Gumped it. I was associated with the best agent in Central Florida, a guy named Mike Krantz, who was the top agent in the area. And I said, listen, I'll work for you for a year. I'll give you whatever you want. I don't really care. But you need to make sure that I'm successful because I can't afford not to be. And I was on the phone 3 hours a day, making calls, calling for sale by owners exclusively, a little bit of farming. I did that every day, 3 hours a day, which means I did it about 3.5 days on average per week because I was lucky enough to find excuses not to, as everybody does. You don't want to prospect. And was fortunate enough that I ended up selling like 26 homes the first year. And then next year was 28 and 30. 32, I think, and those were for sale by owners and a very small farm of about 100. Transitioned from that, I said, okay, I've got enough of a war chest now that I can do maybe a little bit of marketing. I was interested in something. I'm a risk taker, so I found the best people that did television marketing. They were in Phoenix and Tucson, Arizona. Actually, Jeff and Marcy Willems. Marcy Willems was the one I went out to interview with, and a gentleman named Russell Shaw. And there's a funny story there that I could tell you about how that interview ended up. But so I ended up getting into television and doing television ads. And then we sold like 150 homes the following year with a lot of risk.
Were you doing his guaranteed sale program?
I did. Your home sold in 45 days, or I'd step in and pay the mortgage until it does. That was and that was 2007. Just as right where we are now is where we were then. Just as the market was kind of crested and flat and almost starting to drop. Although I don't think we'll have the drop at all like we did there, because there isn't a lot of, there's no crime. There wasn't just blatant malpractice going on as we had in 2005, 6, 4, 5, and 6. From there, though, we got into I got involved in the REOs, and also in my position of servicing a seller is to bring in clients, regardless of who they were. And open houses were a great way to attract buyers. That was different and was tons more effective. I stole Brent Gove's methodology of a lot of signs. He and I were talking when Jeff Willems was coaching. We were speakers for him, and that's where I met Brent, fell in love with him. And I said, he told me I told him what I was doing. He told me what he was doing. And I said, I like what you're doing too. So I basically I plagiarized the hell out of it from Brent. This is all Brent Gove. And then we added to it. We made it, I hope better.
And so we're going to do this Thursday, 5 to 7, Friday, 5 to 7, as many doors as we can hit. And just from your experience, how many doors are you knocking in that 4 hour?
About 50. You're not talking to that many. You're talking about 10 or 12 per. You get maybe 5 or 6 per hour because you can't walk on their yards. So you got to cross over depending on how tight the neighborhoods are. So back to what you're saying. Thank you. I wanted to get there. The whole idea is to be in the community for at least 4 hours knocking on doors, because they're going to know you, and you're going to start with the ones around the house, and they're going to see what's happening. You're going to put a lot of stuff out in the front yard. The front yard's a great place to advertise that this isn't the norm. So don't put one sign, put 12. Put those big feather signs up and 3 other signs. And if it's sponsored by your title person, drive 2 stakes in with a big banner that they paid for that says sponsored by My Case Celebration Title. Do what you need to do to make sure you stand out in the neighborhood. So we've gone through our Thursday and our Friday. Now it's Saturday. Okay. While I'm at the house on Friday, because I always start at the house and work my way from there, my car is parked there, I'm going to do a short video tease that I'll put out on social media. This house is amazing. I can't tell you where it is till tomorrow. It's coming live at 11, but oh my God, check out this pool. This is a house you want to come see. Hit me up with a private message. I'll tell you the address. I can't publicly put it out there until tomorrow. And then at 10:30, I'm making 2 videos tomorrow morning. Now it's Saturday morning. I'm doing it at 11 o'clock, which means I'm usually there at 10 because I have to set up what's called my honey look boards. You mind if I jump into that, Bryon? Like, you cool with
it?
Yeah,
please. Yeah, yeah.
Has a bunch of these boards. This is the 20 by 30 boards. And on these boards are what I call honey looks. And this is an older one that I use as an example. But this will tell you how much you pay in monthly rent and what that translates to in purchase based on 10% down and 7% interest rates. You can, of course, make it your own. And everything on the board that homeowners have 40% more. These boards, we have, well, at this point, 20 that we put out. So they're all over the place. And there's these little, I was going to ask my wife to grab it for me. These little stand-up tripods that literally they fold into a little sleeve like this, and you put 5 or 6 of those around. You can put them all over the place. I'll use this as the kitchen as the backdrop. Can you edit stuff on this, or is this real time? Yeah. This is where I'm active. I put that on the back of the kitchen. You can put up to 8 different honey looks up there, and they're all there to give me the ability to go, oh, a question. Yeah, there's an answer. In fact, this is what you could afford if you were renting a property and paid a certain amount for rent. These are just some of the things that have to happen if you're buying a home. Oh, here's my seller's list of things that have to happen for that. And by the way, this is my buyer package, which I only give to people I work with, and I have one for you. And it's a full-on binder that I present to them. This is my office. And it's just like a model home. It's got stuff all over the place. And when they walk through the house, I want them to stay there. They walk in and they're like, honey, look, which is what you do in model homes. Honey, look at the floor plan. Look at the options. The longer they stay, the more opportunity I have to talk to them. The more opportunity I have to separate myself. 40% of the people that are selling or that are looking to buy a home have a home to sell. Those are statistics that NAR came up with. So 40% of the people that walk through are going to go, holy crap, what are you doing? So this is an open house. But there's things everywhere. Yeah, that's how we do it, because marketing isn't just placing it on the MLS and praying. We do things differently because your home matters. Every home matters. Your man. So you see what I'm getting at? It's just everything's separated. Everything's elevated. How can you make it better? By the way, steal these ideas.
Yeah.
I'm not great at it. I'm just a good thief. Legally, I don't have to say that without my attorney here. So I am denying everything I just said.
I did not read you your Miranda rights, so you're good. You're good.
All right, cool. You get it? It's about how do we make it? How do we make it better? Somebody brought this up a while ago. She's actually incredibly talented. It makes perfect sense. Tina Valiant is her name. I wanted to mention her name if you happen to put it out there. She's really, really good at this, and I added this to what we do along with another guy named Max Wordlaw, brilliant at open house. I trained him, and he's just become amazing. But bring a little clipboard in the very beginning. Said, listen, I want to tell you quickly about the house, and then I'm going to turn you free, but I got a quick story about it, and then I'll let you go. By the way, the seller would love your feedback. Hand him a clipboard. This is your first opportunity to have actual contact with him. The second opportunity, and I'll come back to the speech about the house in just a second, is when they're walking through, hey, can I bring you a glass of water? I have a quick snack or something. That's the second one. And the third one, so what'd you think? Did you find that secret thing I'm telling you about? So let me go back to the beginning.
Okay.
Hey, Bryon, I'm George. I'm your host for the day. Feel free to kick the tires. I'll give you a quick story about the home, a quick 10-second overview. Then I'm going to turn you loose. By the way, the seller has asked for feedback. If you wouldn't mind, love to get your feedback on it. I will not share your personal information, I promise you. And we have a basket that we're giving away to everybody that provided feedback from our title company that's free for you. It's that one with the bottle of wine and Crown Royal in it. All right, so this house, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, brand new roof. The kitchen has been completely redesigned. In the master bedroom, the closet, there's something in there that just freaked me out a little bit. Oh, by the way, the house is empty, just so everybody knows before that. But I want to give them something to look for, because when I go and visit them the second time or the third time, I'm going to bring up the thing that's unique about this home. Did you notice that? Yeah, there's my opening conversation. I revisit what we've talked about already.
Got it.
It takes 3 times meeting somebody to create a relationship where you feel more comfortable with them. Think about the UPS guy, or in my case, the Amazon delivery guy. If it's the same person, I get to know them, and after a couple of times, I'm greeting them by name. Okay, that's the same thing we're going for, that different relationship. Anyway, they're in the house. That's how the house goes. The whole house is set up. Yeah.
Can I ask you 2 questions? Something you said first, that you said the house is empty. Are you only holding open houses for empty houses?
Not at all. It's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up. So we can put these on the wall with a thumbtack and a little clip, and it just push thumbtack in the wall, and these hang on the wall on vacant homes. The problem with that, though, is you usually leave a thumbtack mark, which the solution is bring some white toothpaste and just smear it over it. As long as it's not a black wall, nobody will ever see it. But we also have tripods that you can buy on Amazon for about $14, and they're like 14 each. Get 3 or 4 of them, and these sit perfectly on it. I would go get it, but it'd take too long in the garage. But we have 8 of them that we bring out to an open house. We just set them all up, put these up on the open house, set up our kitchen with this behind it, and our binders. And by the way, for everybody watching, these are some of the signs. Put it where you can see it. There we go. Seller very motivated. All offers considered. Free list of area homes. Bank-owned homes and best deals. Yeah, of course you're going to include the bank-owned homes. So none of this is inappropriate. Open house just ahead. This is an amazing home. And I only brought 3 in, but there's another one in there that says all offers considered, because as a real estate professional, we're required by law to submit all offers. So of course it'll be considered. It'll be rejected if it's stupid, but that doesn't change the dynamic that the idea is you want to get them through the front door. That's your mission in an open house. Come through the front door. Once it's through the front door, you want to separate yourself from everything else they've experienced. You want to have the most amazing Neiman Marcus experience in that open house. Yeah, where it's just different. It's like going to Starbucks or going to Dunkin' Donuts. 2 totally different worlds.
And you're coming from a benefit to them, which I really love, and asking questions where they get to tell you their preferences and their desires. I'm curious, is there anything about when they're coming in, you're asking them to sign up? What's your script for getting them to give you their phone number, email? What are you asking for, and how are you getting that?
Okay, so let's see if I can figure out how to share this. So this is the form that I would use. Okay. Your opinion matters. It's got a ticket number. Remember, I'm giving away. Can you see this, Bryon?
I can. I've got it up on screen for us.
Okay, terrific, cool. And I was hoping I was sharing that right. So, and this is, you can just make up your own. It doesn't really matter. Host today, it's got my name on it. There'd be a number where it'd be 204, and on the bottom there's another number, because remember, we're giving away a basket. I won't share any of this information with you. And then just a quick survey. And this is small enough that it will fit on a large piece of paper, a large clipboard, or you can put it on a smaller clipboard. You can buy those pretty quick and easy. Okay, that is it. Now, how do I stop sharing?
Okay. Is there anything I didn't ask you about holding open houses that you think is really important for agents to understand, especially that kind of experienced agent, right? A capper, an icon level, who's been doing open houses the way they learned it way back in the day from their broker and haven't really deviated from it. Any nuances you'd want to share?
Yeah. Actually, there is. And since we can edit, meaning you can cut this part out, this is the one I can't share. I'm going to share my screen again, if that's cool.
Yeah, please.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet. Oh, hold on one second. There we go.
Can you see? Oh, cool. All right. So I'm going to make this a little bigger. This is what you're looking at. This is a 11 by 17 that sticks on the front door. It's welcome. Glad we're here. QR code with all our information. The reason I'm bringing this up, this is for the experienced real estate professional who's got an agent working side by side with them, maybe not on their team, or maybe they're just building, going from 10 to 20 closings to 40 closings this year, and they want to do open houses at a high level, or they want their team to represent their listings at a really high level. You want to create your own honey looks. This is Canva. It's simple. Bear with me because this is really important if we can get this right. This one, this is done by a partner of mine, Max Wardlaw, who worked with me. He's phenomenal. This is just a glance at some of the honey look boards that are out there. And it's a bunch of different opportunities to communicate what works for you. I use the welcome board. This is the cover of my, which is, you guys can probably see it. It's the hot list, Area's Best Homes. That's on a 3-ring binder that has all the homes in there, but QR codes are more to the point. And that's good with the sharing because I can't seem to find the one I had. So probably you can close down the sharing for me. Let me give you a quick run through of these.
Yeah, please.
So these are called honey look boards, and perfect scenario, you've got about 10, 20, 10 would be 5 big boards like this. By the way, you can put it on both sides. Mine are laminated after I've gotten them the way I want them, so I can literally move them around. They've got a little sticky to them. Why is that important? Well, it depends on what I want to put in the kitchen, which is where I do most of my work. Here's another one, the buying process explained. Different kind of open house. I showcase what we do differently. Obviously, why I chose EXP. What sells a home? Looking for something special. This is when I used to use our hot number, the number we had where it's a hot number. That's set up already. I would suggest you use a dynamic QR code now, which is a QR code you can change. But for me, it was homes priced from 100 to 200. That's an old board. But think about this in your neighborhood. What's the sweet spot? Let's say you've got a spot that's, you know, $200,000 to $300,000 homes, or bank-owned homes, or pre-foreclosure homes. Why not put that on a board with a QR code that they can scan that goes right to your KV core, and they see everything in your neighborhood right there, and you know they're there. In fact, you know they're there while they're in the open house. If your computer's up and you're looking at it, you're like, somebody's visiting, looking at that. Isn't that cool? They saved a home. And you're showing them how to help themselves to the information they want. I just give them a list. And that's what the honey look boards are. It communicates to them what their priorities are. And it also gives them something to do when they're walking through the house, particularly if it's vacant. There's nothing there to look at, but there's information that's relevant. What does the difference between a 1/4 point interest rate look like? And maybe you're putting out a flyer you give them, said, I wanted you to have this. The difference between a 1/4 point matters, and negotiating that as a seller contribution to buy down your rate will make a difference to you of about $60,000 over the life of your loan. That's what negotiating is about. It's the little things that are the win. You had my attention at $60,000. Who is this agent? Yeah. I like this guy already. I think he's good. Let's work with him, honey.
Yeah.
That's your goal. That's your job.
Love that. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you doing this with us.
My pleasure, man.